Let's begin by offering our respects to ISKCON Founder and our preeminent Shiksha Guru, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadate Swa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vṛndāvaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpataruvyaschа Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Om
Bhagavate
Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
We welcome all of you to our weekly online Krishna book classes. Thank you very much for joining. We have with us here Shreya Kalaria, Aja, Devina, Kamala Nandini Mataji. We have Karuna, Lavina Dadlani, Manju Nihalani, Meenakshi, N.C. Venkatchari. Then Auntie Nita is there. My husband is there. We have Ritu Lalwani. Then we have Shailesh Latkar, Shantaram Latkar, Sheetal Latkar. We have Shivani. We have Swapna Latkar, Vivansh, and we have Wendy. Okay. So, what did we see in the previous class? Which two demons were killed?
Ashi and Yoma, sir.
Yeah, Keshi and Vyomasura, no? The last two demons that Krishna killed in Vrindavan, we saw Keshi and Vyomasura being killed. So how old is Krishna now?
11.
11 years, 6 months.
Yeah. 11 years, 6 months and 4 days. Because we are still on the same day when Keshi and Vyomasura were killed. So now Krishna has exactly 11 years, 6 months and 4 days. Okay, so today, by the mercy of Sri Guru and Sri Krishna, let me share this. 1 second. We will be seeing chapter number 38 of the Krishna book titled Akrūra's Arrival in Vṛndāvana. Yeah. So Akrūra arrived in Vrindavan on the same day that Keshi and Vyomasura were killed. They were killed during the daytime. And then later, at the time of sunset, Akrūra reaches Vrindavan. So it's still on the same day that this particular incident happens. So who has sent Akrūra to Vrindavan?
Kamsa.
Kamsa has sent him.
Kamsa.
Yeah. So it is described that actually the day Kamsa ordered Keshi and Akrūra to go to Vrindavan, that day was an Ekadasi. So Akrūra knew that next day he has to go to Vrindavan. So he didn't sleep that night. He spent that night glorifying Krishna, worshipping Krishna. He spent the whole Ekadasi night absorbing himself completely in the thoughts of Krishna, because now is the opportunity for him to meet the Supreme Lord. No? So it's a very, very sweet moment for him and he's looking forward to it. So he spent that Ekadasi meditating on Krishna. And then, of course, the next day of Ekadasi on Dwadasi, Akrūra sets off for Vrindavan in a brand new chariot. So in this particular chapter, we will see how Akrūra is very, very humble and how he is such a nice devotee, and how during his journey from Mathura to Vrindavan, he is completely absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna. He is thinking that he is very greatly fortunate, no? And he thinks that he is not qualified to meet Krishna, but Krishna is so merciful that still he is going to be able to meet Krishna. So like that, he is completely absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna also when he is on the way from Mathura to Vrindavan. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Akrūra is described as Mahamati. Mahamati means high-minded, which means he is very, very intelligent. He's a very intelligent person. Why? Because he stayed up the whole night on Ekadasi and he completely absorbed himself in the thoughts of Krishna. So actually devotees are considered to be very, very intelligent, because if one wants to take to Krishna consciousness, that means one is intelligent. No, one is thinking, one is seeing the larger picture of life. One is not only restricting oneself to the sense enjoyment in this lifetime, but one wants to enjoy eternally. So it takes some intelligence to understand why is it that I like to enjoy, because I experience unlimited bliss and unlimited enjoyment in the spiritual world. Therefore, by nature, the spirit soul likes to enjoy. No, so it takes some intelligence to understand that. Okay, so this is the reason why I have the tendency, or I like to enjoy. So I would like to enjoy eternally. Why only enjoy a little bit in this material life, which is mixed with lamentation. So intelligence means you want to enjoy eternally. For that, we have to go to the spiritual world. And to go to the spiritual world, of course, we have to do what it takes to go back to the spiritual world. So devotees are considered to be intelligent. So as I discussed, it is now Dwadasi when Akrūra has left for Vrindavan. And on Dwadasi, normally we break the Ekadasi fast. Like next day of Ekadasi, Dwadasi, we break the Ekadasi fast. But Akrūra is so eager to meet Krishna that without even breaking his fast, he has already set off. He is on his way to Vrindavan so that he can meet Krishna. Okay, let's read. Narada Muni did not mention Krishna's killing Vyomasura, which means that he was killed on the same day as the Keshi demon. The Keshi demon was killed in the early morning, and after that the boys went to tend the cows on Govardhana hill, and it was there that Vyomasura was killed. Both demons were killed in the morning. Akrūra was requested by Kamsa to arrive in Vrindavan by evening. After receiving instruction from Kamsa, Akrūra started the next morning via chariot for Vrindavan. Because Akrūra himself was a great devotee of the Lord, while going to Vṛndāvana, he began to pray to the Lord. Devotees are always absorbed in thoughts of Krishna, and Akrūra was constantly thinking of Lord Krishna's lotus eyes. He did not know what sort of pious activities he must have performed to gain an opportunity to go and see Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram in Vrindavan on that day. A pure Vaishnava always thinks himself unfit to serve Krishna. So Akrūra began to think within himself that he was unfit for gaining the transcendental opportunity of seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He considered himself as unfit for seeing Krishna as a materialistic person is for understanding the science of God, or as a fourth class person, a Shudra, is for studying the Vedas. But then Akrūra began to think, by the grace of Krishna, everything is possible, and thus, if he likes, I will be able to see him. Just as a blade of grass floating on the waves of a river may, by chance, come near the shore and gain shelter, a conditioned soul carried away by the waves of material existence may sometimes be saved by the grace of Krishna. Akrūra thus thought that if Krishna willed, he would be able to see him. Akrūra considered himself most fortunate that he was going to see Krishna, whom great mystic yogis desire to see. He was confident that on that day, all the sinful reactions of his past life would be finished and his fortunate human form of life would be successful. Akrūra also considered that he was very much favored by Kamsa, who was sending him to bring Krishna and Balaram, to bring back Krishna and Balaram, and thus enabling him to see the Lord. Akrūra continued to consider that formerly great sages and saintly persons were liberated from the material world simply by seeing the shining nails of the lotus feet of Krishna. So see the potency of Krishna. Just by looking at the shining nails of the lotus feet, great sages and saintly people have been liberated. So you say anyway how Akrūra is thinking, what is his thought process? As he's traveling, he's absorbing himself in Krishna and he thinks that he's greatly fortunate. He doesn't think that he's qualified. He doesn't think that I deserve to see Krishna. This is not how a devotee thinks. A devotee always thinks, I'm the most rotten, I'm the most fallen, but Krishna is very, very merciful. So he will take me in, even though I am not qualified, because he is merciful. This is how a devotee will always think. So this line here, as a fourth class person, Shudra, is for studying the Vedas. So we know in the Varnashram system, we have Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudras. The Shudras are by nature not interested in studying the Shastras. That is why they never go to a Gurukul. They never get educated. It's because they are not naturally inclined to study the Shastra. It's not that they are denied the opportunity, because now in the modern times, this Varnashram system has become corrupted. But the Varnashram system, original Varnashram system, which Krishna established according to one's nature and according to one's kind of work, you will see Brahmanas, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, they are more interested. Actually, Brahmanas are most interested, then Kshatriyas, then Vaishyas. But Shudras are the least interested to study the Vedas. So therefore, they are called as the fourth class. The qualification is not that is not the caste system as we see it in the modern times, but just on the basis of how inclined one is to learn the Shastras. So because the Shudras are least inclined to read the Shastras, learn the Shastras, therefore they are called as the fourth class. So even in the modern times, if one is not inclined to read the Shastras, but maybe very rich and sophisticated and very highly civilized, very highly educated, but if he's not inclined to read the Shastras, then he is considered to be a fourth class man only. Okay, coming back to Krishna book. That Supreme Personality of Godhead has now become just like an ordinary human being, and it is my great fortune to be able to see him face to face. Akrūra thought he was thrilled with expectations of seeing the very lotus feet which are worshipped by great demigods like Brahma, Narada and Lord Shiva, which traverse the ground of Vṛndāvana and which touch the breasts of the gopis, covered with tinges of kunkuma. He thought, I am so fortunate that I will be able to see those very lotus feet on this day, and certainly I shall be able to see the lotus face of Krishna, which is marked on the forehead and nose with tilaka. And I shall also see his smile and his curling black hair. I shall be sure of this opportunity because I see that today the deer are passing on my right side. Today it will be possible for me to actually see the beauty of the spiritual kingdom of Vishnu Loka, because Kṛṣṇa is the supreme Vishnu and he has advented himself out of his own good will. He is the reservoir of all beauty. Therefore, today my eyes will achieve perfection. So, Kṛṣṇa is a reservoir of all beauty. He is the most beautiful. One of the 6 opulences of God is beauty, and Kṛṣṇa is most beautiful. So, of course, there are other personalities who are very, very beautiful, extremely beautiful, but Kṛṣṇa, he is most beautiful. And what is the color of Kṛṣṇa's hair?
Black.
Black. And what is the texture?
Curly.
It's
Curly,
curly.
curly.
So see the glories of our scriptures. We even know how Kṛṣṇa's hair is. It is curly and it is black. We even know the color of his clothes. So our Shastras give us all complete detail. Okay, Shailesh, you have your hand raised.
There are 2 things that I wanted to understand. One is, it says he was thrilled with the expectation of seeing the very lotus feet of which are worshipped by great demigods like Brahma, Narada, and Lord Shiva. So, as far as we discussed earlier, Narada is a Dev Rishi, no? Not a demigod.
Yeah, but he's on the level of a demigod. Deva Rishi means he's a sage amongst the demigods. So it's not wrong to call him a demigod. He is the son of Lord Brahma also.
Okay.
What else?
And yeah, the other thing that I wanted to ask is that he says that because I see that today the deer are passing on my right hand side. Sorry, and I shall also see his smile and his curling back hair. I can be sure of this opportunity because I see that today the deer are passing on my right side. So why is that common? Is it why is he sure? Because the deer are passing from his right hand side. Is there something that we're missing?
Yeah, I have the same question. When I find the answer, I'll let you know. I don't know the answer. Okay.
Okay.
I have to check it up if it's available.
I think it's some kind of
There is an echo I cannot understand. Shantaramji.
I think it's some kind of omen.
It should be like an auspicious omen, he's saying. Is that what he said? Shailesh?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it could be. There are many could be's and possibilities and probabilities, but we are not allowed to speculate. So unless we see a Shastric evidence, we cannot comment.
That is exactly why I asked.
Yeah. Okay. But there must be the answer to this somewhere. It's just that we have to discover where it is. So if I find the answer, I'll let you know. Okay, let's proceed. Akrūra knew beyond a doubt that Lord Kṛṣṇa is the supreme Vishnu. Lord Vishnu glances over the material energy and thus the cosmic manifestation comes into being. And although Lord Vishnu is the creator of this material world, he is free by his own energy from the influence of the material energy. By his internal potency, he can pierce the darkness of the material energy. Similarly, Kṛṣṇa, the original Vishnu, by expanding his internal potency, created the inhabitants of Vṛndāvana. In the Brahma Samhita, it is confirmed that the paraphernalia and the abode of Kṛṣṇa are expansions of his internal energy. The same internal potency Kṛṣṇa exhibits in Golok Vṛndāvana is exhibited in the earthly Vṛndāvana, where he enjoys himself with his parents and in the company of his friends, the cowherd boys and gopis. By the statement of Akrūra, it is clear that since Kṛṣṇa is transcendental to the modes of material nature, the inhabitants of Vṛndāvana, who are always engaged in loving service to the Lord, are also transcendental. So, we should not see Kṛṣṇa as an ordinary human being. Neither should we see the inhabitants of Vrindavan as an ordinary human being, because Krishna is transcendental, which means he is beyond the modes of material nature. He is in the transcendental mode of material nature. He is in the Shuddha Sattva mode. No, he is beyond Tamogun, Rajogun, and Sattvagun. And not only Krishna, but all the inhabitants of Vrindavan are also transcendental. So we should not see them or try to understand these pastimes thinking that they are ordinary living entities. There is nothing that they have to do. They are not within the modes of material nature. So which expansion of Krishna is glancing over material energy and creating the cosmic manifestation, creating universes? What's his name?
Vishnu.
Which Vishnu? There are 3 Vishnus.
Mahavishnu.
Mahavishnu, yes. Mahavishnu, also known as
Garbhodakshai Vishnu.
no. Before him.
Kshiradakshai Vishnu, sorry.
No.
Uh,
It starts with a K.
Karna Daksha.
Yes, right.
Oh.
Karano Dakashai Vishnu. From Karano Dakashai Vishnu comes Garbhodakashai Vishnu. From Garbhodakashai Vishnu comes Kshirodakashai Vishnu. So Kshirodakashai Vishnu is the Paramatma, super soul. Garbhodakashai Vishnu enters into each universe. And Karanodakashai Vishnu is creating all these universes by his breathing. Yeah, Shreya, you have your hand raised?
Yes, so I had question from the previous slide. So we see that he's always wearing yellow, right? Like whenever the Shastras describe that he's wearing yellow clothes. So does he always wear yellow?
I've never seen any pictures, bona fide pictures, or any text describing Krishna wearing something other than a yellow dhoti. I've never seen or read like that to say otherwise. I've always read yellow dhoti, and even bona fide pictures which Prabhupada approved, Krishna can be seen with the yellow dhoti. So I have not read something that contradicts it to say that he wears something else.
Oh.
Yeah, Shailesh?
if you come back to the current slide, it says that the people of Vrindavan are created from his internal potency. I just had one small question that we are all his creations, right? So, I mean, everyone should be part of his internal potency. So, how do we differentiate, or
How to
what is the difference
differentiate?
there?
Yeah, how to differentiate is those residents of Vrindavan are part of his eternal or Nitya Leelas. We are not part of his Nitya Leelas. We may or may not be part of his Nitya Leelas in the future. We may get an upgrade or we may not get an upgrade. But that's the difference, that we are not part of his Nitya Leelas. But these residents of Vrindavan are part of Krishna's Nitya Leelas. They are not there because of their karmic reactions. We are here because of our karma. Past karma, we have this particular body. But they are not here with Krishna on this earthly planet, earthly Vrindavan planet, because of their karmic reactions. They are there because they are eternally part of Krishna's pastimes. So when Krishna descends, he needs his associates to perform those pastimes. No, so Yashoda has to tie him up. He has to steal butter from the gopis' homes. He has to do the rasa dance. So he comes with his associates. They are here because Krishna wants them here, not because they have done some bad karma in the past. This is how we differentiate.
No, I understand that. I just wanted to know one thing. But anything that is created in the universe is from his internal potency, right?
No, the material
Because
world
without
is
that,
the material world is his external potency. Not
no,
everything
but
is his
a
internal
soul,
potency.
so
Soul, yes, the
a soul that is,
soul, yeah. The soul, the jiva belongs to Krishna's internal potency, and the material world belongs to Krishna's external potency. Although the soul is Krishna's internal potency, but because we are covered by this material body, we are the internal potency has the external potency has overpowered. Because although jiva is pure, we have this material body, and that usually, see, this is one thing in the shastras that is explained, that how is it possible that The internal energy can come under the influence of the external energy if the internal energy is more powerful, more potent than the external energy. So that's the whole thing. Because of our conditioned life, although the jiva belongs to Krishna's internal potency, still we are coming under the dominance of the external potency, in the sense that we are in the bodily concept of mind. We have our purity, the jiva has been covered by impurities, by this material body. So yes, jiva belongs to Krishna's internal potency, but the conditioned soul has come under the dominance of material energy or external potency. Okay. Akrūra also considered the necessity of the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. He thought that the transcendental activities, instructions, qualities, and pastimes of Krishna are all for the good fortune of people in general. The people can remain constantly in Krishna consciousness by discussing the Lord's transcendental form, qualities, pastimes, and paraphernalia. By doing so, the whole universe can actually live auspiciously and advance peacefully. But without Krishna consciousness, a civilization is but a decorated dead body. A dead body may be decorated very nicely, but without consciousness, such decorations are useless. Human society without Krishna consciousness is useless and lifeless. So it doesn't matter what kind of opulences one may have, but it is just like decorations on a dead body. This is what Akrūra is thinking. If one is not Krishna consciousness, then there is no meaning to our wealth, our beauty, our intelligence, our degrees, our renunciation. There is no meaning to all that, no meaning to our anything if we are not in Krishna consciousness. All those things are like decorations on the dead body. It's like just zeros, adding more and more zeros. But when we are in Krishna consciousness, then we have meaning to our beauty, to our wealth, to our intelligence, because what we do is we use this in the service of Krishna. So then there is meaning to it. Otherwise, it's just decoration on a dead body. Akrūra is thinking like that. Adding Krishna is like adding one before all those zeros. Akrūra thought that Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna has now appeared as one of the descendants of the Yadu dynasty. The principles of religion are his enacted laws. Those who are abiding by such laws are demigods, and those who are not abiding are demons. He has advented himself to give protection to the demigods, who are very obedient to the laws of the Supreme Lord. The demigods and the devotees of the Lord take pleasure in abiding by the laws of Krishna, and Krishna takes pleasure in giving them all sorts of protection. As confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, though these activities of Krishna, his protecting the devotees and killing the demons, are always good for men to hear and narrate. The glorious activities of the Lord will ever increasingly be chanted by the devotees and the demigods. So if one wants to know, am I a devotee or am I a demon? What is the one question that we have to ask ourselves, according to what we just read?
That if you follow the laws of the God, then you are a devotee. If you don't follow or abide or disobedient to the laws of God, then you are a demon.
Exactly. Nothing else matters. No, if we are abiding by the rules and regulations, if we are going by what Krishna wants us to do, then we are devotees. Then we have divine qualities. But if we are not following those rules and regulations, it doesn't matter who we may be. We may be the president of the most advanced country in the world, but one is considered to be a demon because the mentality is demoniac. The demons do not follow the instructions of the Lord. So what is it? What are we thinking? Do we want to follow what Krishna says, or we want to do what we want to do? That will decide whether one is a demon or one is a devotee. Very nice. And then the glorious activities of the Lord will ever increasingly be chanted by the devotees and demigods. So one is always chanting more and more the glories of the Lord, the glories of the activities of the Lord, because these are all evergreen pastimes. One will never get tired of listening to the same pastimes over and over and over again. For so many years now, 5,000 years back, Krishna left the planet. But after 5,000 years also, we are talking about these leelas of Krishna. Why? Because they are evergreen. It's not like another material book. No, one material book, one novel you read, then how many times can you read the same novel over and over again? But Krishna's leelas are not like that. They are eternal leelas. So therefore, they are ever increasingly chanted by the devotees and the demigods. Okay. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the spiritual master of all spiritual masters. He is the deliverer of all fallen souls and the proprietor of the three worlds. Anyone who is able to see him with eyes smeared with love of Godhead enjoys a festival of seeing. Today I shall be able to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who by his transcendental beauty has attracted the goddesses of fortune to live with him perpetually. As soon as I arrive in Vṛndāvana, I will get down from this chariot and fall prostrate to offer my obeisances to the Supreme Lord, the master of material nature and all living entities. The lotus feet of Krishna are always worshipped by great mystic yogis. So I shall also worship his lotus feet and become one of his friends in Vṛndāvana, like the cowherd boys. When I bow down before Lord Krishna in that way, certainly he will place his fearless lotus hand on my head. His hand is offered to all conditioned souls who take shelter under his lotus feet. Krishna is the ultimate goal of life for all people who fear material existence, and certainly when I see him, he will give me the shelter of his lotus feet. I am aspiring for the touch of his lotus-like hand on my head. When that hand touched the presentations of King Indra and King Bali, these two became qualified to be the lords of the universe. And when that hand touched the gopis as they danced with Krishna in the Rasa Leela, it relieved all their fatigue. So see here this line. Anyone who is able to see him with eyes smeared with love of Godhead enjoys a festival of seeing. So one can argue that even the demons, when they went to kill Krishna, even they were seeing Krishna. So how to understand? What is it that they were missing that the devotees are not missing?
His eyes smeared with love of Godhead.
With eyes smeared with love of Godhead. So they are not seeing the sweetness of Krishna. They are seeing Krishna as an enemy. So although they are seeing Krishna, they are missing out on the sweetness of Krishna. So therefore, how a demon sees Krishna and how a devotee sees Krishna, there is a vast difference. Then here when that see the power of Krishna's lotus hand also Akrūra is describing. So he's anticipating that Krishna will place his hand on my head and he will bless me. And then he says the power of that lotus hand is such that when Krishna touched the presentations of King Indra and King Bali. So Indra, when Indra, after the Govardhan Leela, when Indra offered some water to Krishna, Krishna blessed Lord Indra, no? And therefore Lord Indra was benefited. And then Bali Maharaj, when Vamana Dev went to Bali and asked for 3 steps of land in charity, then Bali Maharaj gave him what he asked for, and for the 3rd step there was no place, so he gave him his head, no, which means Bali Maharaj completely surrendered to Krishna. So did Krishna just take away his life, his kingdom, and just keep it with himself? No, of course Krishna was going to reciprocate. So Bali Maharaj got an entire planetary system. The Sutala planet belongs to Bali Maharaj, and Vamanadev himself is standing guard to that planet. So so greatly they have benefited because of Krishna's blessing. Akrūra is thinking like that. Yeah, Shailesh, you have your hand raised?
No, I think you cleared it. I was just asking that it says here that when that hand touched the presentation of King Indra and King Bali. So King Bali is a person, a character in one of the asuras. And later on in the passage, it says that he becomes the Indra actually. So
Yes.
that's what is a slightly confusing, that King Indra is supposed to be a position rather than a name of a person. So then why in the same sentence it's written King Indra and King Bali? Because
Okay,
that's a
so
position, this is a person.
yeah, so yes, you're right. It's a position. So currently we have one personality who's Indra, and Bali Maharaj is stated or he's scheduled to be the next Indra. After this current Indra finishes his lifespan, then Bali Maharaj is the next Indra. That's why they are both called as the qualified to be lords of the universe. Does that answer your question? Okay. In this way, Akrūra expected blessings from the hand of Kṛṣṇa. He knew that Indra, who is the king of heaven and the master of the three worlds, the upper, middle, and lower planetary systems, was blessed by the Lord simply for his offering a little water, which Kṛṣṇa accepted. Similarly, Bali Maharaj gave only 3 paces of land in charity to Vamanadev, and he also offered a little water, which Vamanadev accepted, and thereby Bali Maharaj attained the position of Indra. When the gopis were dancing with Kṛṣṇa in the rasa dance, they became fatigued, and Kṛṣṇa wiped his hand, which is as fragrant as a lotus flower growing in the Manasarovar lake, over the pearl-like drops of perspiration on the faces of the gopis, and immediately the gopis became refreshed. Thus, Akrūra was expecting benediction from that supreme hand of Kṛṣṇa. Krishna's hand is capable of bestowing benediction upon all kinds of men if they take to Kṛṣṇa consciousness. If one wants material happiness like that of the King of Heaven, he can derive that benediction from the hand of Kṛṣṇa. If one wants liberation from the pangs of material existence, he can also get that benediction from the hand of Kṛṣṇa. And if one is in pure transcendental love for Kṛṣṇa, and if one in pure transcendental love for Kṛṣṇa wants personal association and the touch of his transcendental body, he can also gain that benediction from Kṛṣṇa. So in short, one cannot gain any benediction without Kṛṣṇa sanctioning it. No, Kṛṣṇa has to sanction. So for that, we have to desire, first of all. So the living entity desires, material nature arranges, and Kṛṣṇa sanctions. This is how it works. So it all depends. It all starts with what is our desire. What is it that we want? Because Kṛṣṇa does not force himself upon anybody's. Because where there is force, there is no love. And where there is love, there is no force. And our relationship with God is based on love. Yeah, Shailesh?
Is there any significance of the Manasarovar lake with regards to Kṛṣṇa?
Yeah, let's see. So it says here, Mansarovar in Vṛndāvana is a sacred lake located on the opposite bank of the Yamuna river, renowned as the spot where Radharani wept in loving anger, Man, creating the lake with her tears. Surrounded by a serene forest, this peaceful site features a white marble temple, providing a tranquil destination for meditation and prayer. So Radharani, feeling jealous during the Ras Leela, left Kṛṣṇa and came to the spot. Kṛṣṇa later found her here and pacified her. So this lake is made by Radharani's tears when she was in separation from Kṛṣṇa. Okay. Akrūra was afraid, however, because he had been deputed by Kamsa, the enemy of Kṛṣṇa. He thought, I am going to see Kṛṣṇa as a messenger of the enemy. At the same time, he thought, Kṛṣṇa is in everyone's heart as the super soul, so he must know my heart. Although Akrūra was trusted by the enemy of Kṛṣṇa, his heart was clear. He was a pure devotee of Kṛṣṇa. He risked becoming Kamsa's deputy just to meet Kṛṣṇa. He was certain that although he was going as a representative of Kamsa, Kṛṣṇa would not accept him as an enemy. Even though I am on a sinful mission, being deputed by Kamsa, when I approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I shall stand before him with all humility and folded hands. Surely he will be pleased with my devotional attitude, and maybe he will smile lovingly and look upon me and thereby free me from all kinds of sinful reactions. I shall then be on the platform of transcendental bliss and knowledge. Since Kṛṣṇa knows my heart, certainly when I approach him, he will embrace me. Not only am I a member of the Yadu dynasty, but I am his relative and an unalloyed pure devotee. By his merciful embrace, surely my body, heart, and soul will be completely cleansed of the actions and reactions of my past life. When our bodies touch, I will immediately stand up with folded hands with all humility. Certainly, Kṛṣṇa and Balaram will call me Akrūra, uncle, and at that time, my whole life will be glorious. Unless one is recognized by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his life cannot be successful. So Akrūra is saying that Kṛṣṇa will not misunderstand. Although he is going as an representative of Kamsa, who is an enemy, who's so cruel, and he has these bad intentions of wanting to kill Kṛṣṇa. still Krishna will not misunderstand me. Why? Because Krishna knows exactly what we are thinking. Because he's in the heart as a super soul, he knows even what we are thinking, what our intentions are. So there is no way that Krishna will misunderstand us. No, even our best friend, our husband, our wife, our children, our own parents also may misunderstand us, but Krishna will never misunderstand us. So remember, Akrūra is also Krishna's uncle. So they have this family relationship as well. And here Akrūra is anticipating what will happen, how Krishna and Balaram will reciprocate with Akrūra. So this paragraph we see how Akrūra is thinking about how Krishna and Balaram will reciprocate with Akrūra when he reaches Vṛndāvana. Yeah, Shreya?
So why Akrūra is not, changing the parties then? He knows that Krishna is, the ultimate and he's the supreme personality of Godhead. Or is it because he was a servant of the Ugrasen and then now Kamsa has come, so now he's just serving the, hierarchy.
See, the thing is, Akrūra knew that Krishna is going to kill Kamsa, right? That prediction has already been made, that Devaki's 8th son will kill Kamsa. So Akrūra knows that one day he will be able to meet Krishna if he stays with Kamsa. Here you see Kamsa is sending him to Mathura. Now, because he's working for Kamsa only, he has got this opportunity to go and associate with Krishna and Vrindavan and bring him and drive his chariot and bring him from Vrindavan to Mathura. So, anticipating that one day I will be able to meet Krishna if I stay with Kamsa, therefore he is with Kamsa. See this line here. He risked becoming Kamsa's deputy just to meet Krishna. So, in anticipation of meeting Krishna one day, therefore he continues to serve Kamsa, just like other ministers also.
But then he could just go and stay at Vrindavan with Krishna.
Not everybody can have that. See, it's a part of Leela. That is his task. That is his thing assigned to him. Again, remember, these are eternal Leelas, Nitya pastimes. So this is the role that he plays. Okay. And also we saw how Akrūra was thinking that Kamsa is, that he is receiving mercy because of Kamsa. We read that in the beginning, right? Because, see, Krishna will not necessarily give his mercy through only his devotees. Krishna can give mercy even through the demons. So you just take the mercy wherever it is coming from, because ultimately it is coming from Krishna. So Akrūra is thinking that I am getting this mercy because of Kamsa. No? So again, the same point. Krishna can give his mercy through the demons also, not necessarily only through the devotees. It is clearly stated here that one should try to be recognized by the Supreme Personality of Godhead by one's service and devotion, without which the human form of life is condemned. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Lord, the Personality of Godhead, is equal to everyone. He has no friends and no enemies, but he is inclined to a devotee who renders him service with devotional love. The Bhagavad Gita also declares that the Supreme Lord is responsive in proportion to the devotional service rendered by the devotee. Akrūra thought that Krishna was like the desire tree in the heavenly planets, which gives fruit according to the desire of the worshipper. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is also the source of everything. A devotee must know how to render service unto him and thus be recognized by him. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is therefore explained that one should serve both the spiritual master and Krishna simultaneously, and in that way make progress in Krishna consciousness. Service rendered to Krishna under the direction of the Supreme Master is bona fide service, because the spiritual master is the manifested representative of Krishna. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that when one satisfies the spiritual master, he satisfies the Supreme Lord. It is exactly like service in a government office. One has to work under the supervision of the departmental head. If the supervisor of the department is satisfied with the service of a particular person, a promotion and increase in pay will automatically come. So see, sometimes devotees or people ask, so what, Krishna is partial or Krishna's impartial? Because on one side we read that Krishna has no friends and no enemies, which means he is impartial. But then again we read that he is inclined to a devotee who renders him service with devotional love. So what is this? What does this? How to understand this? We have to understand that Krishna is impartially partial, which means that he gives the opportunity to everyone to come and take advantage of his partiality. It's not that only so and so, oh, you're a demon, so you cannot surrender unto me and become dear to me. No, that opportunity is open for everyone to come and take advantage of Krishna's partiality to his devotees. So in that way, he is impartial. So when one actually becomes his devotee, then Krishna has a more intimate, loving relationship with that person. Then we see here the importance of a spiritual master. See, so serving the spiritual master is equal to serving Krishna himself, because the spiritual master is the bona fide representative of Krishna. So service to, see here, we read here in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is therefore explained that one should serve both the spiritual master and Krishna simultaneously, and in that way make progress in Krishna consciousness. This is why Prabhupada established in ISKCON 4:30 a.m. when the Mangal Aarti starts, we start by reciting the prayers to the spiritual master. So the day's activity starts by glorifying the spiritual master. Guru Ashtakam prayers by Srila Vishwanath Thakur. He composed them. So therefore, it's very, very important to serve the spiritual master, to glorify the spiritual master, to render service to the spiritual master. One should serve the Guru as good as God. Of course, a bona fide guru will never say that he is God. Prabhupada said a bona fide guru will always say that he is the servant of God, and he will make you also a servant of God. But the disciple must worship the guru as good as God, because he is the representative of the Supreme Lord. Guru is a representative of Krishna. So let us see this quote from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. If the conditioned soul engages in the service of the Lord and simultaneously carries out the orders of his spiritual master and serves him, he can get out of the clutches of Maya and become eligible for shelter at Krishna's lotus feet. Purport. It is a fact that every living entity is eternally a servant of Krishna. This is forgotten due to the influence of Maya, which induces one to believe in material happiness. Being illusioned by Maya, one thinks that material happiness is the only desirable object. This material consciousness is like a chain around the neck of the conditioned soul. As long as he is bound to that conception, he cannot get out of Maya's clutches. However, if by Krishna's mercy he gets in touch with the bona fide spiritual master, abides by his order and serves him, engaging other conditioned souls in the Lord's service, he then attains liberation and Lord Krishna's shelter. So very, very important to first of all find a bona fide guru and then serve the bona fide guru. And here also in this paragraph we see here, Srila Vishwanath Thakur says that when one satisfies the spiritual master, he satisfies the Supreme Lord. So this is from the Guru Ashtakam prayers, the last paragraph of the Guru Ashtakam prayers, which I just mentioned. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado, yasya prasadan nagati kutopi. Dhyayan stuvam stasya yasyastri sandhyam, vande guroshri charanaravindam. By satisfaction of the spiritual master, the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes satisfied. And by not satisfying the spiritual master, there is no chance of being promoted to the plane of Krishna consciousness. I should therefore meditate and pray for his mercy 3 times a day and offer my respectful obeisances unto him, my spiritual master. So if the whole thing boils down to, are we able to please our spiritual master? If the spiritual master is pleased, then automatically Krishna is pleased. Sometimes people ask, how do I know if Krishna is happy with me? How do I know what Krishna wants me to do? Well, you just see, if you have pleased your guru, then obviously Krishna is pleased. It automatically is going to happen. They're not two independent things. Yeah, Shailesh?
In the previous slide, yeah, so it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't draw a difference between Mahamaya and then in the previous chapter we saw that there was a demon who was the son of Maya. So why doesn't it specifically say Mahamaya or Yogamaya?
See, when an author writes something, they give you information according to what you need to know. Sometimes it's generic statements are made, and sometimes specific statements are made. It's not necessary that always it has to be specific. The author will write according to what the author thinks is necessary for the audience or for the reader to know at that particular point of time. Just like as a father, your son may ask you a question. You may not go into all details. According to his age, you will tell him something, answering his question, but you may not give him full thing, right? So the author knows what the reader needs to know at that particular context or at that particular time. So it's not necessary that Srila Prabhupada is going to go into all specifics at every point of time in all the Shastras. Sometimes he will make generic statements also. Akrūra then thought, when Krishna and Balaram are pleased with my behavior, certainly they will take my hand, receive me within their home and offer me all kinds of respectable hospitalities, and they will surely ask me about the activities of Kamsa and his friends. In this way, Akrūra, the son of Swafalka, meditated on Sri Krishna on his journey from Mathura. He reached Vṛndāvana by the end of the day. Akrūra passed the whole journey without knowing how long it took. When he reached Vṛndāvana, the sun was setting. As soon as he entered the boundary of Vṛndāvana, he saw the hoof prints of the cows and Lord Krishna's footprints, impressed with the signs of his soles, the flag, trident, thunderbolt, and lotus flower. These symbols on the soles of the Lord's transcendental lotus feet are worshipped by all the demigods and other great personalities throughout the three worlds. Upon seeing the footprints of Krishna, Akrūra immediately jumped down from the chariot out of respect. He became overwhelmed with all the symptoms of ecstasy. He wept and his body trembled. Out of extreme jubilation, upon seeing the dust touched by the lotus feet of Krishna, Akrūra fell flat on his face and began to roll on the ground. So now Akrūra has reached Vṛndāvana. At what time of the day he has reached? At the time of
evening, no? Evening.
at the
Sunset,
time of
evening.
sunset,
Evening.
the sun was setting. So
Sunset.
during sunset time, Akrūra has reached Vṛndāvana. And as soon as he reaches there, he sees Krishna's footprints. He sees the hoofprints of the cows and the calves, and he's so ecstatic. No, the ecstatic symptoms are manifesting in his body, and he bows down. He offers obeisances, and he's rolling in the dust of Vṛndāvana. So when we visit Vṛndāvana, then we learn from Akrūra how we should approach the holy dham. Akrūra's journey to Vṛndāvana is exemplary. One who intends to visit Vṛndāvana should follow the ideal footsteps of Akrūra and always think of the pastimes and activities of the Lord. As soon as one reaches the boundary of Vṛndāvana, he should immediately smear the dust of Vṛndāvana over his body without thinking of his material position and prestige. Srila Narottam Das Thakur has sung in a celebrated song, Vishaya Chadiya Kave Shuddha Have Mana. When my mind will be purified after leaving the contamination of material sense enjoyment, I shall be able to visit Vṛndāvana. Actually, one cannot go to Vṛndāvana by purchasing a ticket. The process of going to Vṛndāvana is shown by Akrūra. So one may purchase a ticket and go to Vṛndāvana, but one is actually not seeing Vṛndāvana the way one should see Vṛndāvana. That's the whole point. You can go and come back without actually seeing and enjoying and absorbing the dham in the right frame of mind, in the right mood, in the right bhav. When Akrūra entered Vṛndāvana, he saw Krishna and Balaram engaged in supervising the milking of the cows. Krishna was dressed in yellow garments and Balaram in bluish. Akrūra also saw that their eyes were exactly like the beautiful lotus flower that grows during the autumn season. He saw Krishna and Balaram in the spring of their youth. Although they had the same bodily features, Krishna was blackish in complexion, whereas Balaram was whitish. Both were the shelter of the goddess of fortune. They had well-constructed bodies, beautiful hands and pleasing faces, and they were as strong as elephants. Now, after seeing their footprints marked with flag, trident, thunderbolt, and lotus, Akrūra actually saw Krishna and Balaram face to face. Although they were the most influential personalities, they were glancing at him with smiling faces. Akrūra could understand that both Krishna and Balaram had returned from tending cows in the forest. They had taken their baths and were dressed with fresh clothing and garlanded with flowers and with necklaces made of valuable jewels. Their bodies were smeared with the pulp of sandalwood. Akrūra greatly appreciated the aroma of the flowers and sandalwood and their bodily presence. He considered himself very fortunate to see Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his plenary expansion Balaram face to face, for he knew that they were the original personalities of creation. What does this word plenary mean?
Partial incarnation?
Not partial, full
No,
incarnation.
plenary means same as Krishna.
Yes, same, exactly same as Krishna. He has the same potency, same power, same opulences as Krishna. So Krishna and Balaram, they are both supreme personalities of Godhead. One is black, one is white. As stated in the Brahma Samhita, Krishna is the original personality of Godhead and the cause of all causes. Akrūra could understand that the Supreme Personality of Godhead had appeared personally for the welfare of his creation, to re-establish the principles of religion and to annihilate the demons. With their bodily effulgence, the brothers were dissipating all the darkness of the world as if they were mountains of sapphire and silver. Without hesitating, Akrūra immediately got down from his chariot and fell flat, just like a rod, before Krishna and Balaram. Upon touching the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he became overwhelmed with transcendental bliss. His voice choked up and he could not speak. Due to his transcendental pleasure, incessant torrents of tears fell from his eyes. He remained stunned in ecstasy, as if devoid of all powers to see and speak. Lord Krishna, who was very kind to his devotees, raised Akrūra with his hand and embraced him. It appeared that Lord Krishna was very pleased with Akrūra. Balaram also embraced Akrūra. Then the two lords took him by the hand and brought him to their sitting room, where they offered him a very nice sitting place and water for washing his feet. They also worshipped him with a suitable presentation of honey mixed with other ingredients. When Akrūra was thus comfortably seated, Krishna and Balaram offered him a cow in charity and then brought very palatable dishes, and Akrūra accepted them. When Akrūra finished eating, Balaram gave him betel nut and spices, as well as pulp of sandalwood, just to make him more pleased and comfortable. The Vedic system of receiving a guest was completely observed by Lord Krishna himself to teach all others how to receive a guest at home. It is a Vedic injunction that even if a guest is an enemy, he should be received so well that he does not apprehend any danger from the host. If the host is a poor man, he should at least offer a straw mat as a sitting place and a glass of water to drink. Krishna and Balaram welcomed Akrūra in a way just befitting his exalted position. So we see the hospitality, the super excellent hospitality of Krishna and Balaram when they receive Akrūra. After Akrūra, who was thus properly received and seated, Nanda Maharaj, the foster father of Krishna, said, "My dear Akrūra, what shall I inquire from you? I know that you are being protected by Kamsa, who is most cruel and demoniac. His protection is just like the slaughterhouse keeper's protection of animals he will kill in the future. Kamsa is so selfish that he has killed the sons of his own sister. So how can I honestly believe that he is protecting the citizens of Mathura? This statement is most significant if the political or executive heads of the state are simply interested in themselves. They can never look after the welfare of the citizens." As Nanda Maharaj spoke to Akrūra with pleasing words, Akrūra forgot all the fatigue of his day's journey from Mathura to Vṛndāvana. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 38th chapter of Krishna, Akrūra's arrival in Vṛndāvana. So now Nanda Maharaj also is inquiring from Akrūra, and he's saying that you are living under Kamsa as though an animal lives under the protection of a butcher, no, a slaughterhouse keeper, which means that the animal can be butchered, he can be killed at any time. The animal doesn't know when that will happen. So Kamsa is so cruel he killed his own family members. So what is how Akrūra living under Kamsa is like that animal who's living under the butcher, knowing that anytime he can be killed. Anyway, after all this hospitality, Akrūra forgot all the fatigue of the day's journey. And this ends the chapter. In the next chapter, we will see how Akrūra comes up with a proposal of taking Kṛṣṇa to Mathura and the heart-wrenching pastime of how Kṛṣṇa leaves Vṛndāvana and goes to Mathura. But for that, we have to wait for one more week. On that note, by the mercy of Sri Guru and Sri Kṛṣṇa, we come to the end of today's presentation. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Do we have any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna Mataji, can you tell the names one more time of the two demons that were killed in the previous chapter?
Keshi and Vyomasura.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else? Yes, Shailesh.
Just wanted to understand that the fingerprints of Krishna, sorry, fingerprints, I'm saying fingerprints, footprints of Krishna and Balram would both have the same symbols?
They are different symbols. Symbols are different.
Okay.
Even Srimati Radharani has certain symbols. And there is also
Yes.
meaning. What does each symbol mean? If you research, you'll be able to see the meaning of each symbol also has its importance. I think we did it once in a previous class, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, but not for Balram.
Yeah.
For Krishna and for Radharani we did.
Okay. Yeah, Shreya?
No, I was just you already mentioned that you discussed. So I got a book from New Vrindavan. It's a very small book which describes about Radharani's lotus feet and their symbols, and it explains each and every symbol.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Are we ready for the exam? Yes, no, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Shreya. So here's your link on your screen.
Can you post one more time the exam date, please?
Yeah. Here goes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.